What is up, everybody? J-Nell here with my UFC 223 recap video. Happened last night from the Barclays Center in New York. Despite all the shenanigans and canceled fights, it was a good card, so I hope you saw it. So out of my original 6 picks, only 3 of those fights actually happened, and I made a last-minute pick on the new main event right there before it happened on Twitter and Instagram. So you have to follow me everywhere. So that is 4 picks in total, and I got 3 out of 4 now, so it's a good night for me. Let's get into it. First up, all of the prelims. I did not see this fight. I was a little bit too late, but I got my pick of Carolina Kowalkiewicz to beat Felice Herrig. She did. It was a split decision, I believe, and I know she wasn't happy with it because I saw a little bit of the interview afterwards. She thought she won all 3 rounds. So you guys let me know how it went down, what you think. If she won all 3 rounds, should have been a split decision. Let me know what you thought of that fight and who you think Carolina should fight next. Now, on to the actual main card. Honorable mention here because I did not do a pick on this fight. It was moved up from the prelims last minute, but it was the fight of the night. Sabit versus Kyle, and I'm not going to attempt to say their last names, but they put on what JR would say, a good old slobber knocker. It was 3 rounds in favor, all a unanimous decision in favor of Sabit, who is one of the Russian up-and-comers. I think he's more well-rounded, though. He doesn't seem to be wrestling heavy. He's got creative kicks, and he's got great angles on his shots. His stand-up game is very smooth, kind of like a knife, sword, slashing, slicing type movements on the ground. He's got good submissions. He's very calm, cool-headed. He's 6 foot tall, but he's very quick, the kicks and everything. I see why everyone is excited about this kid. And Kyle, not gonna say his last name, from Boston, even though he lost this fight, his stock definitely rose. He's very charismatic in the fight. You know, you got Nate Diaz, you've got your Garbrandts, you got these fighters who are not only charismatic, Connor, not only charismatic outside of the ring, but charismatic inside of the ring. And he had this lion heart roaring. He was very rough around the edges, but I liked his corner advice. I thought it was spot on. So I think he's got a bright future. Just kind of got to smooth the edges out, gain a couple more skills, gain him bottom game, because he was kind of like a 2-dimensional thing going on there. But again, screaming at the end, at the last seconds of the fight, where he put on a little flurry. He's walking towards Sabit with his hands down, getting hit in the face, and then they go at it, and it was quite an awesome fight. So both their stock rise. Who would you like to see both Sabit and Kyle, I'm not saying their last names, fight next? Now on to one of my actual picks. I did not get this pick, actually. I chose Kyle Kattar to beat Renato Moicano. He did not. Moicano basically took apart that lead leg, took it apart early, and it limited everything that Kattar could do from then on. And then he just picked him apart. Head, body, this fight stayed standing. It was a good, strong win for Renato. So who would you like to see him? And I liked his after speech. You know, he English is his second language, but you know, he's talking about his family. He just seems like a real genuine, nice person. So I think he's got a little bit of personality there. I think he should speak more, which you could tell he's kind of working on. So bright future there, I think, for Moicano. Who would you like to see him fight next? Now on to I know I'm not recapping all the fights. Oh, Joe Lauzon lost to Kyle Gritzberg. Hey, I didn't make a pick on that one, so sorry. I don't have the names down like that. Gritzbacher lost. Actually, the fight was called Joe Lauzon's corner threw in the towel after the first round because he got busted up. Started really strong, gassed really early, and then got busted up for the remaining of the round. So it was a good towel throw in from the corner. Who would you like to see the guy who beat him fight next now? On to the co-main event, and I did get this pick, and still the UFC Women's Strawweight Champion, Thug Rose, Namajunas. She successfully defended her title against Joanna, former champion Jedrzeczyk, and this with all 5 rounds this time. This was a much better fight, much closer fight. Let's get into it. So the first 2 rounds kind of went like the same, except for obviously she wasn't able to knock her out, but she got the better of the exchanges on the feet. She's got some real slick, unique movements where she was able to slide, dip and slide out of the way, and she was hitting Joanna, and Joanna couldn't hit her. And that reach advantage, she just looked real longer than Joanna as well. So those first 2 rounds, she really got the better of the stand-up exchange, and she even started busting her up in those first 2 rounds. But then the 3rd round, Joanna, who had been kicking that lead leg the whole time, really turned it on with the leg kicks, and we started to see damage on Rose's lead leg, and we actually saw it start to hamper her movement. There was times where her leg actually buckled in the 4th. Like she kind of it was weak on it. She had to change up her movement. She had to stop moving as much and throw more punches. And the 3rd and 4th rounds went like that. The 4th round, I think, was the most decisive round in favor of Joanna, as far as, like, again, she tore up that lead leg, hampered her movement, and then she was able to start connecting with her hands. And you saw both women had damage, even though Joanna was much worse. I think her left eye there was almost closed shut. The left from Rose was landing the whole time. So it was 2-2 going into this 5th round, and Rose pulled it out. She jumped on her in the first two minutes of that round. She got the better of exchanges again. She stopped moving as much because I think she thought throwing more punches. She had more combinations, longer combinations, and she got the better of the stand-up. But then she sealed that round with a takedown at the end of it. And when she got that, I knew it. I was like, oh, she's keeping the belt. She's keeping the belt. This was a much closer fight. This was a highly skilled level fight from these two ladies. It was fantastic. But Joanna performed much better, but so did Thug Rose. It was a fantastic fight. Highly skilled, highly competitive. The momentum changing back and forth. Like I said, 2-2 going into the 5th round. I've watched it twice. I recommend you watch it too if you haven't. It was a great fight, and the belt is now solid with Thug Rose. Who would you like to see her fight next? I have a feeling it's going to be Miss Jessica. But you let me know who you think it should be next for Thug Rose. Also, and Joanna thinks she won the fight. I disagree, Joanna. 3-2. Thug Rose. Okay, who do you think should be next for her? You think she's going to move up to flyweight? What do you think she's going to do? Now, on to the main event. Got this pick as well, and new UFC official lightweight champion. There's officially only one now. Khabib Nurmagomedov. He successfully beat Iaquinta after supposed to be fighting Max Holloway, after supposed to be fighting Tony Ferguson. Yeah. So it is not the fight we originally wanted to see, or even the next fight that we wanted to see. But you know what? It was exciting because no one thought that Iaquinta would win, but we knew he was a madman, a wild man, and would go in there and he would try. And that's exactly what he did. So the first 2 rounds, Khabib was able to take him down. He lasted all 5 rounds, by the way. Okay, so Khabib was able to take him down ground and pound. Not really too much ground and pound, actually. He didn't do that much damage. Al, with his wrestling background, was able to kind of hold him down and not get submitted, not get beat up. He would stand up to his feet and get drugged right back down. A lot of holding, a lot of stalling. But again, he didn't get beat up on the ground like Khabib normally does. There's a few times where Khabib took his back and things, and there was the danger of the choke and whatnot, but he did not get choked out. He survived. And each round, we're like, all right, there goes one more. 3rd, 4th, and 5th stayed standing. Yes, Al started talking to him. I don't know what he was saying. I don't know if he was challenging him to stay on the feet. Khabib later on said he wanted to see if he could last 5 rounds because he had rarely been through a 5-round fight. But either way, I think the talking got to him. And even though Khabib still won the stand-up game, his jab, and it was the jab actually that kind of drew blood from Al, but Al didn't care about that. He knew my only chance is to keep this standing. So as long as I have you standing, he would talk his trash, take a couple of jabs, move in and out, and land like a 2-piece. A 2-piece that would even stop Khabib in his tracks or knock him back or make him think a little bit. And the crowd's like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. And in the 5th and final round, he even put on a little flurry. Like, I mean, kudos to Al Iaquinta for going in there 1 day's notice and giving us that whole Rocky Bull, can he do the unthinkable thing in his hometown of New York. It was fun. It was fun. And so he managed to put on an exciting match, even though he like lost every round. But it was still exciting, and the crowd was in it, going back and forth from chanting Khabib to chanting USA. The corner of Al Iaquinta is hilarious. He goes back to the corner, Matt, Sarah, keep talking, baby, keep talking. Like, so much New York in that corner, as Joe Rogan says. It's a great corner. So it was entertaining. It was entertaining, and congrats to Khabib. He called out GSP. He said because his dad wants him to fight GSP, but you're not fighting GSP. Okay, let's talk about the Conor shenanigans. Of course, you know he attacked the bus with him himself through the actual metal dolly, through shattering the window, which cut up Michael Chiesa. That's why we didn't get him against Pettis, which had glass in Rayborg's eye, which why we didn't get him against Brandon Moreno, which I think is the most serious. How many careers have we seen ended from cut up eyes and scratches to retinas and things of that nature? That is very, very serious. Plus, we had 2 staff members on the bus get cut up, broken hands, security guards were getting punched in the face by him and his hooligans who seemed to have come down there to do this. Maybe was probably going to the show anyway, but after the Art of Law thing, decided to jump to attack a bus full of a lot of people who weren't named Khabib. Very irresponsible. It's pretty disgusting behavior. I think we all know that. I think we all also know that he's probably not going to suffer too much of a consequence for it. He may get suspended. What do you think? Here's what I think. You tell me what you think. I think he'll probably get suspended for like 5-6 months. Kind of seems like it's something, but really not. I think the most punishment he's going to suffer is in his pocketbook. And I hope they drain him. I hope they get everything that they possibly can from him. Because that's the only thing that's going to make him fight again. Think about it. with his money right now. He ain't fighting again right now. He's just doing whatever he wants to do, causing trouble, making news and all that BS. Once he loses a few millions, tens of millions, dozens of millions from hurting people, he'll probably fight again. And maybe it'll be against Khabib, maybe against Tony. Who knows? You let me know what you think should happen with that lightweight belt. I'm very glad that they stripped him and Tony, even though Tony's my boy, but I'm just glad that there's only one belt again. We can start this thing over again. So who do you think should be next for Khabib? What do you think is going to happen with the Conor situation? Again, I don't think he's going to serve any jail time. I don't think he's going to get punished too harshly by the UFC. I think the biggest punishment he's going to suffer is people taking his money, and not taking his money, getting what they're owed. What he did is completely unacceptable. We've gone from disrespecting the fighters in the way your career is being managed, and not him, but the UFC disrespecting the fighters, to him actually hurting UFC fighters. So actually putting their careers in jeopardy, cutting lacerations to the face, cuts to the eyes. That is so serious. Ray Borg is young. He is young, up and coming, still learning. Michael Chiesa, a couple of wins away from a title shot. These are people in the primes of their careers. It's just sick. It makes me sick, actually, to think that he hurt other fighters with his foolishness. So you guys let me know what you think should happen in that case. I just let you know what I thought, who the lightweight champion should fight next, any injuries, updates on those people, on that situation, on the money situation. I'm heard he might get sued from the Barclays Center, from the bus company, from so let me know all the information you have. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat now. Talk to me, take care. Or subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. And goodbye.